I had to restart the computer, update a couple drivers.
Ah,
Holy mackerel, man, this is crazy. How low can you go? I gotta look up real high so I can see the bottom of a submarine. That's as close as I can come to humor. It wasn't so much humor, just the simple analogy. Some stuff I had to say. I don't know exactly when I'm going, but this is all done. It's just the moment, waiting for the moment. Um, uh, if you would share this with the other people, oh, whatever you want to do with sharing the videos and stuff, and going on YouTube, I don't care. They're about to find out, what the hell I am.
So this is the study guide to what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. When I first started doing this, I didn't, I didn't know how to, I started explaining to people some of the stuff I did, what I could see and do. And the first, like I said, first over 800 people I cranked up, I never charged a penny. And I only had one problem with the guy. I said, "How about a cup of coffee?" He goes, "No." And I'm like, and after I had already cranked him up, and I'm like, "What?" And he felt it because he started falling back in his seat at the coffee place, Starbucks. And he goes, "No." I'm like, "Okay." So he's walking down the door, pull it right out of him. Screw me? No, screw you. Whoa. Anyway, but I didn't know what to tell people. And they say, "How come you can't and I can't?" And I'm like, "I'm different." What are you? I said, "I'm a hybrid." It wasn't a lie, but it wasn't the full truth by any means. Nobody was ready for that. I had to crank up about 1,000 people, over 1,000 people, about 1,000 before I could tell anyone. Because this world functions with everybody, processing the main thought of better than, more of, bigger, better, yay me kind of thing. But it's like a struggle for them to get through life, make more money, to have a nicer life. There's a lot of branches on that tree, but it's all growing up right into an acidic sun. It gets nowhere, and that's okay because the original first being halves are dead, and we're fixing it. But anyway, eventually people figured it out on their own. Almost no one ever accused me of being arrogant. They didn't know I'd go in their head and hit them, boom, and they're like, "Holy crap!" And it's like, oh, anyway, some of this stuff I've told you already. I'm only aware of 3 lives I had in a female body. I just want to get through that first. We know about, and I've never been good at that. I've almost never been in a female body because I don't do too well. I'm aggressive masculine. Nothing against female whatsoever. It's just I'm not. and it sets me off canter so much I get aggressive. Joan of Arc. I was a son of a bitch. I mean, I was mean. I told you about breaking that guy's arm in that
Yeah.
bar. That was not a nice thing to do, but that was me. And another one, I was when I was the librarian of the Library of Alexandria.
Hypatia. Her name was
Yeah,
Hypatia.
yeah. I got I think that's her name. That was my name when I got when they killed me. It was mostly the Christians, Romans, and they were using albacore shells,
Hmm.
and they just sliced me to death. I bled out. Then I got a spear in the chest. Um, I'm not sure if that's. There was no Lily's telling me there was no Mark Anthony then.
No, different time.
Yeah. Um, sorry, man. This is really difficult. I'm not sorry. I'm happy. Yuck, yuck.
Mm.
Um, wow. Okay. And the other one was Tomoe Gozen. They,
How do you is it okay to ask how
you
you
spell it
yeah,
Tomoe
yeah,
Gozen. You can look up
got it, got it.
greatest female samurai,
Yeah, thank you.
or most
Yeah.
known or whatever. I had some samurai I was fighting with at the castle, whatever. Um, and I fought with them on their side, and they were telling me there's no place for a lady.
Hmm.
And I just, looked at him like, if you're lucky, I'm not cutting your head off. And then I ran out in the middle of the fray, and a guy came by in a horse, and he was leaning over, and he was going to hit me with the sword. I got out of the way, and I cut his head off. I took his horse, beautiful black horse, and grabbed his ponytail, the
Hmm.
thing on the,
Yeah.
it's not a long hair, it's how they put it up.
Mm.
And I went screaming, waving my sword, riding a horse through the rest of them, holding the guy's head up.
Mm.
And he was like the head of the opposition.
Mm.
So all of a sudden things calmed down. Like, what? That's what their woman can do? And what I wanted to put out on that was that when I died, this Tomoe Gozen, they kept saying they nobody knew. They said I went out to be a hermit. I lived in a monastery. I was became a concubine for some great leader, some big king thing, whatever.
Hmm.
Begin with I think it's a MA something, and he told me that I was his bitch, and I just about cut his head off.
Minamoto.
Yeah, that's it. And I put my sword to his neck, just barely touched it. He bled a little bit, but not bad.
Oh,
And I said,
there's another one. She is known for beheading Honda no Morishige of Masushi. So Morishige is another one.
yeah, but this guy I didn't. That was the one you just mentioned. He was the one in that fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I, he was
Yeah.
gonna kill me, so I said, "Well, I think I'll just. You're not thinking right. I'll cut your head off, turn it upside down for you, air it out."
Yeah.
Um, but the other guy, when the fighting was over, and then he said that people were saying that he made me his concubine. I told him I was leaving after I did that. He told me this and that, and I said, "Fuck you," and
Yeah.
excuse the French. And then
Yeah.
went ahead and put my sword up to his neck, and then I pulled it away real quick. And I said, I'm leaving, and anyone that comes after me will never make it back.
Yeah.
And then I just went out and lived in the woods, lived off the land. And at one point, I got involved in some fighting, helping out some farmers. And I got cut on the left arm below the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And like a slicing stab from a spear above the elbow on my left arm. So it had made it hard for me to, fight.
Mm.
And something came up from behind, like a big bear or something, when I was just out cooking some food, and it wound up getting the better of me.
Yeah.
So I got out that way. But this other one, sorry, just a second. This other one, Aaron, as of this moment, Aaron doesn't have it. Now, I expect after we're done talking, he's gonna, go back and look it up. But if he's too busy doing other stuff, that's of course more important. You might do that with them some other time or something. But I've said before that, I understand why people think what they do about what other people say, because most of the time people talk crap. Just go on the internet. Let alone talking to them in person, people. But I was very, very well as far as Tokyo, as far as Japan went. And back then, it was early feudal, and they called it something like Kapon, like Kapon, and Japan. That's what they did in that area. Now, all of Japan was small kingdoms.
Yeah.
And then they all started fighting to take over control of everything. And I was in one of the smaller ones. But I was born in that town, and I learned to fight right away. And I wound up developing. I downloaded from past lives or something. I developed some extremely powerful techniques. And by the time I was 14, there was nobody that could touch me with a sword. And then as I went on through life, I really became good. I mean, I was crazy. I was known all over Japan. It's like, it's like number one hot dog, whatever. But the king, or whatever you call him,
Shogun.
of our area,
you could have samurai or shogun.
He was the head dude. I don't.
Yeah.
And he had a son and two daughters, and the son was older than me. I wasn't that young anymore. Of course, back in those days, young gets old real quick. Anyway, he put his son in charge. He was like a prince, second only to him, to his dad. He put him in charge of the military and everything. That he said yes or no to whatever really mattered, but he let his son do the military. And the son, he and I tried to be close with him, and I had all the respect for him and his position. But we go to war and fight other groups, he wouldn't listen. And we'd get cut up to hell. And I'm like, damn. And the father always sided with him. And I'm like, this is stupid. And then we did something, and then we got slaughtered. The kid, the son, just knew, no, you're wrong. We're going to go do this. Everyone in our military, all the samurai, they all know what I said. We all knew what I said was going to happen, and there it was. It happened, and we lost a third of our men. So we were not the biggest and the baddest, but we were strong and true, and but we had to deal with this idiot.
Yeah.
And the father was too weak. he was too old and too weak to do anything but listen to his son.
Mm.
Now, what I had said before about that time was very brief and to the point, that we had gone out to do a major attack and we lost a third of the men, and it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
But I was all over this crap. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out of here. So then I said I announced that I was going to do the seppuku thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next day I came out there and everything was set up and I was getting ready to do it. And then the king came out and he had a thing set up right next to me. We were both facing where he was sitting in a chair and he's right there next to me. And I'm like, you know, what are you doing? And he said, well, I made the mistake of not listening to my best warrior.
Mm.
So it's my fault my men died. So therefore I have, you know, screwed up my honor with it, you know, do the wording for me, please. You know, this is so hard just to get this out.
No, I got you. I understand.
Yeah, so he said I can't let you do that without joining you, and I couldn't do that. That, you know.
Mm.
So that was the end of that. Then he started listening to me a little bit more, but he finally went, and his son's daughter, which will be his niece,
Mm.
the old man's niece.
His son's daughter, so his granddaughter.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
If it's his son's daughter, then it'll be his granddaughter.
He
Or it could be his son's niece.
maybe it's his son's. Yeah, it was his son's niece.
Yeah.
And she and I were madly in love.
Okay.
I was just a bit older than her, not that much. It was very respectable, and of course, those days the age difference didn't mean much, but it was very respectable. And he got in the way of everything, and I said, "Man." And then later on, they got taken over,
Mm-hmm.
and we lost a lot of good samurai. But he signed a deal with the other folks. You know, it's not paper, like it's the sword, the bending, and then the signing.
Yes.
It gave everything away. Um, and he, uh, what do you call it? It was a requirement of the deal, which he wasn't being pushy because he had just been defeated. But he said that he wanted me. Usually, a guy like me, they kill you because it's a great big to do. There's some big thing about it. I don't remember, but it's that it increases their honor or something stupid. And he said no, that I had to be a, what do you call it, Logan.
Oh yeah. Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
A samurai. I had to be
Ronin. Yeah, Ronin. Ronin.
Ronin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's like a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Yeah.
And then I lost the niece. The niece wound up going to the concubine of the conquering people. But he did it just to spite me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always offered my service with honor and respect, and you know, some people really suck. You know, there's so many like that. You wonder, why do we need gravity, right? Well, I literally feel like I'm gonna just turn into the trunk of a tree. Anyway, I don't. It was early feudal, and that was known all over the place. It's not like a yay J moment, but it was something Lily put in front of my face. So she said it has importance for later, but it will with the Japanese people.
Okay.
I was honored and disgraced. I dishonored and disgraced.
Unfairly.
For having been a righteous, honorable person.
Yeah.
And when they when you go when in Japan, when you bother to look and you go back and you find me, the person I was, I'm still held with high regard.
Mm-hmm.
So that might help them a little bit relate to the fact that I'm a force of good.
Yes.
It's just, I am the destroyer. When it's time to destroy it, doesn't make people, it'll make some people happy, but it's kind of in a way scary, it's just see all these people burning, like out in the desert. They're just burning everywhere. Just over 37%, 37 point something percent of the Islamic culture will be alive. That's mostly women that haven't been abused. I mean, that have been abused, but weren't abusers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. I had a couple packages that weren't supposed to come till yesterday. They came early this morning. I was like, what? Good. It was from Amazon. They don't deliver till late.
Mm.
And I already had them in the house torn apart and looked at to make sure the order was okay by 11 something. Then it's just one more Thursday, but this thing that's going on is picking up speed.
Yeah, good.
It's kind of like a snowball rolling down a slight hill.
Yep.
This is crazy. I've been doing this collapsing thing for a while, but now it's just, I don't know how I get from one place to the other, but while I am, I'm just spinning and spinning, nodding out,
Mm.
All right. Anyway, I want to get that out there.
Yeah. Put the record straight.
Yeah. Anything to help the cause. That's,
Mm-hmm.
it's not about me, but because of what I'm going to do, people need to know a little bit. All right, man. Have a good one. I hope it's a rosy afternoon, okay?
Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye now.
Bye.